Hey, good evening, folks. Good evening. Sorry, I'm running a couple of minutes late here. I've been having a little bit of internet problems. It's funny how things just seem to pop up when you got some important things to talk about or important things to do. So everybody sit back and relax a couple of minutes while we wait to see, if we can get some folks on board to talk about tonight's subjects, to look into tonight's subjects. Good to see the folks jumping on. Jesse, Rajon, my brother Brian. What's up, nephew Talon? All right. Doing big things in Pensacola. Show you right. I'm proud of you, young man. Gino Jones, Chi-Town in the house. Yep. It's outside. Sharika, what's going on? Yeah, so we're going to take a couple of minutes, to let some folks get on tonight. And tonight's focus is going to be, it's going to be a few things. We're going to talk about election results from yesterday. And we're also going to talk about where do we go from here. What's up, wifey? How you doing? Brandon, thank you for coming out and sitting with us for the watch party. I really appreciate you, brother. Always appreciate you. Do you see Karen Codry? Good to see you. All righty. North Charleston's finest. Proud to serve with you. Tez all the way from Walterboro in the house. Show you right. Good to see you. Kaquisha, what's going on? Pam. Yes. All the way from British Columbia. Come on, Canada. In the house. Yes. Oh, absolutely, B. I wish that I would have gotten in that position in order to ensure that everybody in North Charleston can eat. But that just gives me a little bit something more to fight for. Cherry, the last line, how you doing? Fight for 15 original. True trooper out here on the streets. Yes, Bob, good to see you. Deborah, yes, good to see you. How you and Frank doing? Real good. Looking forward to the Spotlight Awards this year coming up in a couple of weeks. Man, I'm looking forward to it. What a great idea to honor the unsung heroes of the low country of this area. There's a lot of people that's doing great work out here who never get recognition for the work that they do, Don, wow, man, folks chiming in from a little everywhere. Yeah, about another 2-3 minutes and we're going to get started on this thing. And I don't intend to go long today. It's always so good to see my really, really good friends to just come together. Many of you all know one of the key factors of what I do is to try to unify people, to bring our ethnicities, our differences together to the table, because I believe it's our differences that make us stronger. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Listen, I'm proud of everybody. I'm only as good as we are together. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Zoe, good to see you. All righty. Miss B, what's happening? Keisha? All right. Tell Jordan I say hey. Hope he's going to tune in. Lester, what's going on, brother? Yes, sir. Listen, I didn't get a chance to get to the mayor spot so we could make Ban the Box in North Charleston easier than what it needs to be to get that done. But that just means we fight harder. We go in harder. You, me, our brother Brian, another brother Brian Anderson. Hannah B. Wow, they tell me you're doing big things out there, Hannah. Good to see you. Michelle, I can't call everybody's names. I wish I could, man, but much love to all of y'all. Again, my mission in life, not just as Pastor Dixon, but as Thomas Dixon, somebody that probably should have been Mayor-elect Dixon today. My mission in life is to build bridges and to bring people together. And if you stop and if you had a chance to look at the the diversity of people that's on this live feed right now, you would understand exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. That's right. That's right, Jerry. We work harder. We don't stop. We work harder. Shoot, because we're going to have 15. We're going to have 15. That's for sure. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not distracted by any campaigns and all of that carrying on. I'm ready. Boots to the ground. Boots on the ground. Yes, yes, yes. Fight for 15. I saw you, Brianna. I saw you log on. Yes, sir. Poor People's Campaign. Shoot, let's go. Let's go. 15 in the union. Let's go. Ending gun violence. Let's go. Getting our kids educated. Let's go. Ending the gentrification that's going on. Let's go. Accessible housing. Let's go. Ending flooding. Let's go. Yes, that's right, Rajan. Back to work. Huh. Sleeves rolled up, boots on the ground. I appreciate you, Hannah. Thank you. That you don't know how much that means to me. You know, I know you've seen the journey. You've seen the journey. Way back from coming out of the prison system on work release to the years at Vickery's to starting in this, to starting the church and all of these different things. You've seen it. You know, and I got some ignorant people around here that like to try to pull up my past. Ignorance. But they don't know my past is what created this monster, this social justice monster that you see right now. That's right. That's right. Yes, yes. And together, we are going to make our community, our city, our state, and this nation a better place for everybody. As long as I breathe, at least we're going to do it. Lisa, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Jermaine in the house. Gerald Footman in the house. Man, so many folks. Millicent, yes. So let me start off now, because I could just run on off at the mouth right now. Let me just start off by saying, listen, everybody, I appreciate you all so very much. Many of you have been standing with me for many years, some for only a few months. But the thing is, you're still standing with me. You didn't stop and allow any type of distractions to sway you or to take you away from the mission, the message, and the man behind that in order to try to circumvent the goodwill of the people. You all know and recognize the fact that it's in my heart to do good for the people. Has nothing to do with any money, never been paid for it. I got somebody that early today, as a matter of fact, the post is on my timeline if you want to go look at it. Talking about I got a check from Summy for splitting the vote. Man, how ignorant is that? As much time I spent grinding out here trying to get Summy to get right, and I'm going to take a check from him? Man, that brother don't know. I'm straight out from the streets. I don't roll like that. For sure. But, you know, I just want to thank everybody, man. There's so many people I could just give a shout out to and just thank that over the years and in this campaign, too, that have been so crucial and critical, who have uplifted me in prayer and who have, at those times, even though I don't show it a lot, there are those times when Pastor Dixon ain't doing too well. And for some reason or other, somebody will call me just at that specific time or send me a text message or send me a post up on Facebook or Messenger, something that will just touch my heart and say, you know, you can't give up now. You got to keep going. And I'm so grateful for you all, because you all are the ones that are the wind beneath my wings. My wifey in particular, who's on board. Dietrich, stay in touch as we get closer to the holiday seasons. I understand, okay? I'm right here for you, for sure. Jamel, what's going on? Man, I was all set to give you another promotion, brother, for sure. Holla at your boy, that's for sure. But appreciations. Let me just say right now, there's a couple of people I definitely have to give a shout out just right away, and that's my treasurer, Sid. Man, Sid, you just amazing. Thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you, Carol, for referring Sid. coming on board with this campaign. I don't. There's no way that I could have gotten to this point without your wisdom, your input, and how you've managed the funds and kept me straight with the ethics commission. You see, because a lot of y'all don't understand. What's up, Nisi? Phil, how you doing? All right, Joe Robinson, Goose Creek. A lot of y'all don't know that campaign financing is all regulated by the South Carolina Ethics Commission at the state and local levels, and at the federal level, it's the Federal Elections Commission. And all finance that's brought into a campaign has got to be accounted for. Everything that comes in and everything goes out has got to be reported into the Elections Commission, or else you wind up getting in trouble, and that's a reality. That's a reality. So, Sid, I just thank you so much for the help that you've been, and I know you did it out the good of your heart. And that's what I love about the people who stand with Dixon, who stood with Dixon for mayor, Dixon for justice, Pastor Dixon, or whatever you want to call me. Those people who stood with me are people who have good hearts and pure intentions. Those who came and went, that just tells you a lot about what their intentions were all about. There's a scripture that said, what fellowship does darkness have with light? And the reality is darkness won't stand in the way. Light disperses darkness. And we, this same community that's on this Facebook Live right now, are children of the light. And ultimately that light is going to dispel the darkness, not only right here in North Charleston, but the darkness throughout the low country, throughout our state, and throughout our nation. We are the change that we're waiting for, people. Amber and Jillian, thank you all so much for the work that you all put in. I really appreciate you both, for sure. Towner McGill and Michelle Finney, when nobody else was hitting the ground with signs. Hezekiah Grice, with nobody else was hitting the ground with signs, you all came out. Man, what's up, Jerome? Show. Man, we going back a little ways, ain't we? South Carolina Rhinos, 2012, man. Yes, sir. But when nobody else was around, y'all was there. Man, helping me out. That's for sure. I guess somebody looked and said, man, that old 67-year-old guy, man, he ain't got no business being out here just on his own doing this whole thing. But it's true people like yourselves. Man, Keisha Smith, thank you. Jordan, Birch and Penn. If there's any way or anything that I need to do to help you all out in that situation over there at Northwoods Mall, I got you. Because y'all know, when it comes to this campaign thing, that's a side issue. I'm an activist and I'm an advocate. And if there's any injustice going on, I'm definitely going to be there, especially for those that I know that call. Hezekiah, what's going on? What's going on, my brother? I appreciate you. I definitely. Those signs y'all see in Park Circle, Hezekiah Grice, for sure. Appreciate you, brother. That's for sure. Man, Erica. Erica Coakley, thank you. Thank you for stepping up when nobody else did. And there's a whole bunch more who actually stepped in and helped. And I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my partner, Brandon Upson. And, of course, our on-the-ground field coordinator right here with Tom Steyer campaign, Tom Steyer 2020, Millicent Trey Middleton. Millicent, thank you. You jumped in there at the last minute and did some things with the campaign, especially just, bringing, with the Steyer campaign, too. I'm so grateful. Out of all the camps out here that might have had an impact in this race, whether it was an impact for me or anybody, but an impact that as we look at the election returns would have changed the numbers around, out of all of them, only one stepped forward to move 2019, and that was the Tom Steyer campaign. Brandon, man, I love you, brother, for sure. All of the donors that have given into my campaign, I want to thank all of you. Everybody who gave anything from $1 or less on up to $1,000. And I've had all of them. Why? Because people, I said it before, people not only heard the message, but they believe in the mission, the message, and the man that was delivering it. People support this campaign, you know. It's unfortunately that the result of what happened in yesterday's election was not favorable, because people believe and they understand that I operate in the best interests of the people. I always will. Of the people, by the people, and for the people. I will never, never stray away from that. And I don't care who lies about whatever. I don't care. Like I said, there's a person that's deceived on, I let the post go. I didn't delete the post, Ain't got no reason to delete what somebody thinks is the truth. It just happens not to be. I got another post I'm going to share up there that came from our mayor's son, our good mayor's son. To let you know that the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I'm going to post that a little later on my page. But all of the donors, man, there's some who have been giving small donations from day one, $5 a month. And, man, I really appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for tagging Tom Steyer, Millicent. That's for sure. Really appreciate it. Man, to my brothers and all of those who ran in this race, man, I understand how grueling it can be. I understand the victory and the agony of defeat. But listen, to Jesse Williams, you on board here right now, my brother. There ain't nobody better suited to be in charge of District 6 than you. Nobody. I don't care how long Miss Williams been in office. District 6 just robbed itself of having a fighter as their council person, somebody who would definitely stand for the people and not compromise to look good within City Hall. Jesse, I salute you. I salute you and Take It to the Streets ministry that's been kicking it like that for 12 years. On your own dime, for sure. Y'all people on this live, y'all take note of these things. You see, because we've elected people who don't have that kind of record. People who've been in office 25 and 30 years and don't have the same kind of record a man like Jesse Williams has. Who don't have the heart for the people like a Greg Perry Sr., who ran for District 7 and should have defeated a good man. I'm going to give him a good man, Sam Hart. Because it's just time for Sam to move on. 28 years. It's time for Sam to move on. It's time for some young blood. Listen, I'm 67 years old. I'm not trying to keep young people from doing what they know that they're supposed to do. Man, the best ideas and thoughts and the most motivation I got every day comes from young people. Man, I listen to young people. I'm not getting ready to shut the young people down. I'm going to lift the young people up. And I'm going to do it as Pastor Dixon, now that I'm not Mayor Dixon. It don't stop. It don't stop. We be grinding. Kevon Singleton in the house, my brother. Do your thing. Do your thing. When I come to ATL, me and the wife, we're going to stop through and visit. Go to lunch or something, That's for sure. I owe you that much, man, just for being you. But it's about uplifting. It's not about tearing down. It's about uplifting. And if we as a community do not get to the point, especially these old gray-haired folks, I'm tired of folks talking about our community leaders and they all gray-haired, can't even stand up straight. I'm sick and tired of that, especially when I see young community leaders out here, for sure. Your Elvin Spaces, your Shakims, I see our young women out here who are leaders of the new school. Your Tisa Wax, Chanda Bryant, who out of adversity, out of pain, out of the agony of losing loved ones, they've come forward and now are championing the cause of ending gun violence in our community, a championing that our elected officials refuse to do the right thing by. I want to make sure that I shout out right now as I'm giving these appreciations to Representative Crystal Simmons. My representative. I want to thank you so very much, for standing with me. While I never really received any word back from any of our other elected officials, But God bless them too. I'll do like I always do. I'm going to stand with whomever as long as they're in the right. But if they ain't right, I'm not going to stand with them. That's one thing that y'all, I think you know about me. If folks are right, I'm going to be right there with them. So, all of this, my appreciation for all of y'all. You all are amazing. And the list goes on and extends to my family members and my community family back in Chicago. All amazing. I know Geno Jones is on here. Southside, Chi-Town, for sure. That's how we roll. DJ D Nice in the house. That's how we roll. But we got to understand, okay, that regardless of whether the community is in Chicago or whether the community is here, regardless of whether the community is a white community, a black community, a Latino community, a Native American community, or an Asian community, it's still our community, all of us working together. We need to get to that point, and I'm going to keep driving that point home until somebody start listening. Just think if everybody on this live started living like we are a community, there's nothing that we could not have for ourselves. There's no law that we can't fix. There's no poverty that we can't straighten out. Or gentrification we can't stop. There's no wages that we can't make happen. There's definitely not a body that we can't stop from being laid dead in the street. Big congratulations on your victory. That's for sure. Keep striving. Keep struggling. The struggle is real. I salute you. Election returns, okay? Election returns. Yesterday was the municipal election in North Charleston. And in North Charleston, there were a little over 15,000 votes cast in the election. Out of about 60,000 voters. I'm just going to use a rough estimate, okay, on the number of voters. 60,000 and only 25% voted. Something is wrong, people. Something is truly wrong when we have numbers like that, especially in such an important election. We have an election with a 25-year incumbent that has allowed the south end of North Charleston to devaluate. The gentrification there is a reality, and it's happening on his watch because it's planned. The fact that the murder rate is so high, the fact that the crime rate, even though it has decreased some, has still been off the chain. The fact that our schools, 8 schools of the worst schools in South Carolina, failing our children. The fact that our poverty rate is so high. You know, not to even mention the fact that we don't have a grocery store there. Flooding has not been addressed. You know, all of these different things. Yes, Millicent, something is wrong. Something's terribly wrong when we have an election and out of 60,000 registered voters, only 15,000 go to the polls. Something is wrong, people. And there's also something wrong with all of these folks that has been talking all this craziness today about split votes, you know. No, I don't want to tag Elder Johnson on this video. No. Those folks that's talking about split vote, let me give you, as Nino Brown said, let me kick the ballistics, okay? In yesterday's election, Mayor Summey drew in 7,389 votes, okay? 7,389 votes. Candidate John Singletary pulled in 4,687 votes. Now, if the number's off by 1 or 2 votes or whatever, please don't just not get petty about it. But if they spot on, just let it be. John Singletary, 4,687 votes. Myself, Pastor Dixon, 1,562 votes. Ashley Peel, 1,096 votes. And Floyd Dotter, 299 votes. First thing I want to say is the shout out to all of the candidates who ran, including the incumbent, you know, for sure. I just want to say, running in these races or standing up to serve our citizenry is not only a challenge, but it takes a special individual, especially those to do this with a clean heart. It's kind of different. Now, when it comes to the split vote thing, okay, like I said, Mayor Summey had 7,389 votes. Now, John and myself, okay, because the word is that folks have been putting out, I'm the cause of the split votes and why we didn't win. But here's the truth. Here's the skinny on this whole thing. John Singletary's votes, 4,687, plus my votes, 1,562 votes, adds up to 6,249 votes. When Mayor Summey got 7,389 votes. A clear 1,140 votes more than me and John together. So I ain't split no votes at all. No. John and I together didn't have enough votes to beat Mayor Summey. As a matter of fact, if we add Ashley Peel's votes, her 1,096 votes in also, that total only comes up to 7,345 votes when Mayor Summey got 7,389 votes. We still 44 votes short of beating that man. So don't be talking about I split the vote. No. You know what happened? 75% of the registered voters in North Charleston did not come vote. That's what happened. It wasn't a matter of splitting the votes. It was a matter of people apathetic, sitting on their keyboards, ninja warriors on Facebook and carrying on and not going to that darn poll and registering a vote yesterday. And I know there's some problems that's existing or whatever, but I guarantee you those problems are not enough to overcome the lack of voter participation that we saw yesterday. And we saw in 2015 and we saw in 2011. It's time to stop this madness, folks. Everything that was on the table, everything affects each one of you on this live and your families and your children every single day. And we've let 75% of our population sit at home and not get up and do something. That's crazy. And that's going to stop. That is going to stop. So I hope I've cleared up this fallacy about the split vote. So anytime you see one of these less than educated individuals out here who's talking that trash, man, tell them shut up. Shut up and go on somewhere, Tell them to do something to make some change instead of talking about something that's irrelevant. Yeah. So the question is, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? No matter which way any of us spends it, the same problems that we had on Monday of this week and up until 7 o'clock a.m. when the polls opened yesterday are the same problems that we have today. So when it comes to actively standing up and engaging our system, joining forces, mobilizing, organizing in order to effectively deal with a system that is not only broken, but is breaking us, it's time to quit being apathetic, lackadaisical. It's time to straighten up your backs so a man can't ride it. It's time for us to come together and to join together and to band together and make sure that not only do we have a voice, but that voice is heard and respected. And I'm not just talking to black people, y'all. I want y'all to understand, I don't just do that black thing, okay? That's not what I do. We are all in this together. Because until we all rise, none of us rise. I'm trying to tell you, okay? Now is the time. Where do we go from here? First off, all of these same issues that we've been addressing. And somebody said that the candidates weren't even addressing the issues. I don't know where that person been at. Man, how do you live in a bubble like that and not have heard myself, candidate Singletary, candidate Peel, candidate Dotter even, addressing these issues? What kind of bubble you live in? The Bible calls that willfully ignorant. I don't mind. Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to be ignorant about this thing. I don't want to know the truth. Pastor Arrington, what's going on? Activism. When it comes to the social justice issues that's on the table today, continue to follow my pages. I'm going to make a title change on my Dixon for Mayor page. But follow my pages, any one of them, and you're going to see events that you can get up and get involved in. Get away from this darn computer. Take your phone with you and at least come out and then work on your phone while you're standing at a rally or a prayer vigil or something. Or in the school board. Yeah, I said it. Or out here trying to make Carter do what they need to do in order to get transit right. Bring your phone with you and then Facebook while you're there. But we don't have the option of sitting at home anymore. It's time to organize and to mobilize. And that means putting boots on the ground and quit playing with folks that ain't playing with us. Y'all feel me? You feel me? Stop playing with folks that ain't playing with us. We better get down. We better get down. It's time to get down. Our children's future and their children's future is at stake. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to go to the mayor's office. In order to make sure that our children and their children and their children's children look back at 2019 and say, you know, that was the day that they made it right for us. But 75% did not go vote. I guarantee you, if that 75% would have gone to the polls, somebody other than the current mayor would have been elected mayor. Okay? Somebody would have been elected mayor. Yep. So we have the same needs today that we had before the election. Activism is alive and well in North Charleston, in the Low Country, and we are recruiting people to be activists. It's time, folks. It's still time. The last message I gave you talked about it's time. Look, it's still time. And each one of you is the change that we're looking for. Eric, what's going on? Yes, sir. There's so many mentoring organizations out here. Brothers and sisters that are doing great work out here, trying to show our youth a better way. Get involved, people. All of you other folks that's on here, get involved. Don't be talking about Pastor Dixon is everywhere. If you don't see yourself next to him, what are you doing? Pastor Dixon is fighting for you on your behalf and going to continue to do that whether you show up or not. But it sure would be good for me to look up and sometimes see, instead of the 5 or 6 or the 10 or 12 who are usually there, another 15 or 20 or 50 more who ain't usually there. And not just one time, but every time. You see, that's how we change things. When we exert the power of the people, when we build our structure from the block up, and we take control of everything and anything that gets in the way of the goodwill of the people. And we can do that, people. We can do that. So I'm going to be organizing. You want to know what I'm going to do? Where do we go from here? What I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be organizing. I've just decided that I'm going to, with the coalition, which is a virtual organization, a Facebook virtual organization, I think it's time to actually make this an official social justice / civil rights organization. And I'm expecting everybody that's ever come forth with the coalition to step up and to become a part. Now, I ain't looking for people that just looking to say they part of an organization. Look, if that's you, do yourself a great favor and just don't even bother to say you're going to be a part of this. I'm looking for folks that's ready to put their boots on the ground. I'm looking for soldiers. I'm looking for those that's going to hit this front line with me when it comes to dealing with this poverty, dealing with this gun violence, dealing with this gentrification and flooding, dealing with the fact that our kids ain't being educated. If you're ready to hit the ground, the coalition is going to be the place for you. We corporate. Get our 501c3 status and 501c4 status. See, so we can accept charitable donations as a 501c3, but we can also advocate as a 501c4. Ain't nobody tell us what we can do then. When you're only a 501c3, you have restrictions. You have restrictions. And see, restrictions, they're not going to allow us freedom of speech. And freedom of speech is what changes governments. Can you feel me? Freedom of speech is what changes governments. So the coalition is getting ready to incorporate. And there ain't going to be no charges for being a part of it or nothing like that. No, that's what I'm going to let them other groups do that. Give me $25 and you can be a part of it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. All I need is for people who are ready to put their boots on the ground and not just talk about it, but be about it, to be a part of the coalition. It's going to be a sign-up process, but it ain't going to be no admission fees and all of that carrying on. No. It's time to grind, folks. It's time to grind. And y'all and me and anybody else who ready to grind, it's time. It's time. On that same vein, and this is the last subject I'm going to cover before I let y'all go. I know I'm bending y'all ears and carrying on for sure tonight. The last subject is addressing what I've already been talking about tonight, voter participation. So even though I'm going to do this incorporation of the coalition, formally get it set up as the premier civil rights organization in the Low Country and across this state, we gonna fight. But along with that, I've also decided that one of the key fixtures that we have to do, based on this election, based on the midterms last year, based on the presidential election in 2016 and previous elections, we can't keep having low voter turnout. We cannot keep having miserable voter participation. So I've decided to begin organizing on that level too. Organizing in order to make sure that everybody not only understands the obligation to be a part of the election process. Yes, quality education project also. Show you right, Jesse. Everybody has an obligation to be a part of the election process. But until you fulfill that obligation, you basically are an enemy of our community. I ain't playing. 75% of our population did not vote yesterday. That's in 2016, in the presidential election that got Donald Trump in office. In South Carolina, there were 3 million registered voters and 1 million did not vote. Are we crazy? And we sitting here complaining. Don't complain, vote. So I'm getting ready to step to my business. This is going to be mass organization from the block up. Just like my brother Moye said, from the block up. Boots on the ground. And I want to hear folks talking about, our young folk and not getting involved. We're going to reach out to the young folk. I need the OGs to step up. Those that the young folk respect. Bring them to the table. So we can sit down and chop it up with them about how we can make their lives better and we can fix our community. We can do this. So I have some things in mind. I actually have some organizations in mind that might be a good fit in order to help us do it. So, I see a lot of folks talking about jumping on and carrying on, but I'm getting ready to close this on down. Of course, man, with William Hamilton. I love you, man. Keep plugging at it. Best friends of Low Country Transit. Y'all are amazing jobs you're doing. Brandon Fish, man, with our Jewish community. And also, man, activists from way back, for sure. Yeah, he's one of them activists that used to shake 5-0 up. But I can't just bring y'all on right now because I'm getting ready to shut this thing down. I just had a few things to say. And I'm hoping everybody got a bit of this. That everybody got a bit of this. That everybody saw that the need for participation, but also that it's stamped in your heart that unless we all participate, we're not going to get anywhere. I'm tired of spinning my wheels. I'm tired of being on the strike lines with the same folks always there. LT, what's going on? I'm tired of being that one that folks look to and say, Pastor Dixon, you're doing a great job. When the reality is, I want to be able to say, man, I'm only as good as we are together, and mean it. Because everybody's stepping up to the plate. Come on, somebody. It's time. It's still time. So I'm going to plug on out of here for the night, okay? And I pray that the seeds that I've sown in your hearts tonight will motivate each and every one of you to step up to the plate so we can all win this game. And the winning is not for any one of us right now that's alive enough to be a part of it. The winning is going to come in the effect that we have on the lives of our children and their children and their children's children. The change that needs to happen right now. We need to be planting the seeds right now, the shade of the tree of which that we'll never sit up under. So when that tree grows, our children and their children will sit up under that tree and say, man, our ancestors, they did this for us back in 2019. And man, it's good to sit up under this shade tree. People, will you work with me? Will you stand with me? Will you fight with me? If you will, there's going to be more information coming through. Because I'm here to tell you right now that I don't need to be the mayor to make sure that everybody eats. It's Pastor Dixon, man. I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank y'all for listening to me for so long tonight. There's going to be a follow-up live coming in a couple of days. I'll give y'all some heads up. And we just got to get this movement going. If you're with me, go and tap that love button or something. Tap the thumbs up button if you're with me. Y'all with me? Anybody out there with me? Tap the love button, man. Just show a brother some love. But I really appreciate you all. Y'all take care. Blessings to each and every one of you. Man, hug your babies. Please hug your babies. And we will. That's right, Jesse, the premier civil rights group. We will be the change that we've been wanting to see for so long, but only talked about it. It's time to be about it. And this goes out to anybody and everybody that wants to be a part of real change. Don't come with no agendas. Nobody got no time for no agendas. We trying to fix stuff for the people, of the people, by the people, and for the people. I love y'all. Thank you all so much. Once again, for everybody that helped in any kind of way through contributions, volunteering, no matter what it was, what it was. Man, I really appreciate you all. Shout out to all of the mayoral candidates. Man, you all are an amazing group. Thank you all for some spirited dialogue that was really, really great. Thank you to all of those who ran in this election at any level, and especially those who run. Jerome Hayward, shout out. Virginia Jameson, shout out. And for all of those that won in this election. I'm not getting ready to give it to the incumbents. Y'all need to step down. Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down with that. Every one of y'all incumbents need to step on down for sure. But Jerome, I'm proud of you, brother, and my councilwoman, Virginia Jameson. Keep doing what you do. You know I got your back if you need me, okay? I know I'm sort of controversial and folks don't like to be tied up to Pastor Dixon, but that's all right. In a crunch, if you look over your shoulder, guess who's going to be standing there? And I love y'all. Y'all take care. Representative Pendarvis, good to see you pop in. Take care. I love y'all. Peace.